What's going on, guys? I'm Steve Collins, HYROX coach, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the ski erg and how you can make your ski erg stronger and more efficient for race day. So let's get into it. Now, the ski erg isn't going to win you a race. However, it can absolutely ruin one if you don't pace it correctly or you're not working on it efficiently. Now, if you follow the strength exercises that I give you in this video, your ski erg is going to feel like an extension of your warm-up so that for the rest of the race, you feel fresh and ready to go. Ski erg performance comes down to two main things. The first one is the aerobic engine, which you guys can develop through running and erg conditioning. And the second thing is power, force production, and transfer. The biggest mistake I see done on the ski erg is that people are lacking the ability to produce connection, tension, and force production from that top position. Now, if we think about what's happening on the ski erg, when we're stretched up nice and high, our lats, our arms are in this stretched position. So the muscles that we're trying to utilize, they're all in a weaker leveraged position. So we have to learn how to maximize tension from an overhead position. There are two main ways to know if you are producing enough force to have transfer to your ski erg. The first one is the feeling. Do you feel like you are connecting with the ski erg, and do you feel confident and comfortable with that initiation of tension? The second one is to look at the display. If you flick through the display, there is a graph that you can find, and this is your power graph, okay? It's watts, okay? So we measure power in watts. So you'll have your graph. If we do a powerful effort, we should find a big, sharp peak in power and then a steady drop off. Now this is your stroke. Once we initiate the pull, we get a rise in peak output and then a steady drop off. Quite different to the rower. If we look at a rowing graph, it's more of a peak and a steady drop off. And that's because rowing is done a little bit slower, where ski erg is done faster and with the upper body power faster. Quick rise in peak power and a drop off. If you do not see this and you see a peak power, which is like halfway down here and then a kind of steady drop off here, this means you aren't producing enough force and power to create this peak. So what do? Well, we gotta get stronger, and we do that with the next two exercises. We have established that the hardest part of the ski erg is learning to create tension in this top stretch overhead position. So the exercise that's gonna have the most transfer to improving that is the chin up. If we can develop the chin ups, it's gonna really help your ski erg. Now for men, the gold standard should be at least 15 repetitions, okay? 15 to 20, any more than 20 is elite level numbers. Now for a female, anywhere between 8 to 10 is the gold standard. Now, if you can do pull-ups and chin-ups right now, keep working on them. Make sure you're doing them once or twice a week. Now, if you're in the category of not being able to do one right now, this is a progression that I put together for all of you people. So the first one is to jump up, get your chin over the bar and hold the top position. Now the target is 30 seconds. Maybe stand on a bench or a block if you cannot pull yourself up. Jump and hold. Right now, you may only be able to hold that top position for 5, 10, 15 seconds. Once you can build that up to 30, then you move on to this next phase, which is eccentric focus chin-ups. Jump up, you hold, but then you lower your body under slow control. You're gonna do anywhere between 1 to 3 reps of 5 to 10 second lowerings, okay? Eccentrics. Then you're gonna come over to the pull down and you're gonna do anywhere between 8 to 12 reps. Now this is going to help with your chin-ups because after you activate the muscles eccentrically, we're stronger on the negative of a movement. We then exhaust those same muscle fibers over on the pull down, and this will develop your strength and then your muscular endurance and your work capacity. Once you've done that between 6 to 8 times over a 4 to 6 week phase, then test yourself. If you can go from the top position and lower yourself in 30 seconds, you should be able to do 1 rep. Now, once you can do that 1 rep, add the band. Now, a lot of people start with the band, but it doesn't really help them build the rep endurance that's gonna transfer to ski erg. So if you can follow this progression, you're gonna get really nice and strong and learn how to engage your arms, your lats, your back, and your core. That's gonna transfer very well to the ski erg. Once you can do good quality chin-ups, change your grip to an overhand position, the pull-up will have an even better transfer to the ski erg. So when you're doing chin-ups, you're primarily targeting the biceps and the core. As soon as you turn the palms over, you're gonna target still the biceps, more of the forearms, but more of the lats. The lats are gonna be a little bit more engaged, okay? Which will have that transfer to the ski erg, because when we ski erg from this top position, the lats are having to engage and initiate that pull movement. Exercise number 2, probably the most underrated and underused accessory exercise to help with training and athleticism and ski erg performance. It's the dumbbell pullover. We are working the back, the lats, and the arms from a stretched position, and that's why it has a fantastic transfer to the ski erg, okay? Because now we're working the muscle in its stretched position where the muscle is under the most tension and load from the weight. We come down, we stretch the lats. The hardest part of that exercise is where the arms are up overhead. The muscle is being lengthened, the shoulder and the scapula is having to really work hard to stabilize. If we don't control this bottom position, we can easily lose the position and stability in the shoulder. So we have to be very careful with the loading and the position that we work into. The other nice thing about that is that we're keeping the elbow slightly bent, which is what we need to do when we do ski erg work and we're overhead. We don't want to be locked out and we don't want to bend the arm too much. We just need a nice balance between soft elbows and creating length in the body. The reason I like the legs up on the bench is so that we can control this rib cage position. What we do not want, if the legs are down, we're going to arch the back. We're not engaging the core and the trunk. With the legs up, we can compress the rib cage, keep the lower back flat, so that when we are in this stretched position, we're creating a better stretch in the back and lats. Whereas if we're here, I'm arching, I can go lower, but I don't even feel any of that stretch there. So in terms of transfer to the ski erg, this is going to help us create more tension and pull from this position as opposed to this, okay? This is too bouncy, it's not enough tension, and it's just not as effective, okay? So legs up, rib cage down, engage, and then pull from this position. If you are someone with neck or shoulder problems, that narrow position with the dumbbell can aggravate your neck. For you individuals, grab 2 dumbbells and go light. 2 dumbbells is a little bit harder because you have less stability, but it will help the stability in your shoulders. So same thing, we stretch back. So you can progress from 2 dumbbells to 1 dumbbell, and then you can even use a barbell to go heavier. So the beauty of the lat pullover, the dumbbell pullover, is that we are training the lats from a stretched position. We're training the triceps as well in this extension position. We're training the core. We're training these muscles here on the rib cage, the serratus anterior, which if you've got any shoulder issues or neck issues, that's a common culprit of being weak or overused. And we're also training the rib cage control, okay? So like we said there, rib cage down, lower back flat, we're building core strength. These are all the areas where athletes are just weak on the ski erg. That could be 3 to 4 sets of anywhere between 8 to 15 reps. So there are your 2 strength exercises that are gonna have a tremendous transfer to ski erg performance, specifically connection, tension, and force production from that top position to help you get an efficient ski erg time. But how do we now transfer that over into real world ski erg performance? So one of the methods I love to use is to work on the power endurance side of things, where we can just hit the ski erg as hard as we can, recover, and then repeat. We are going to do 200 meters of as fast effort as possible every 2 minutes. You're going to start the clock, start the timer. You're going to do 200 meters as hard and as fast as possible. Have a little look at your 500 meter split. Is it getting nice and low? Have a look at your peak watts. Is it getting nice and high? Once you've done 200 meters, you're gonna rest for the remaining 2 minutes. So this could be anywhere between a minute to a minute and a half, and then you're gonna do it again. Anywhere between 5 to 10 sets, and that's how you start transferring your power production, your peak power, into endurance efforts. This video wasn't about improving your ski erg time dramatically. It was about learning efficiency on your ski erg so your output is less, so that you can enjoy the rest of your race and put up a good time, okay? Because getting good on the ski erg isn't just about doing ski erg work. It's about getting strong, getting powerful, and learning how to connect and produce force at the right time so that you guys are efficient. If you would like to work with me, there is a link down below in the description. Click the form. Make sure you fill it out, we'll have a call, see if we're a good fit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.